Why is it that it was so easy to go in and out of saint stories and fairy tales there?
Yeah, well, because they follow the same pattern.
Which is
it's something
collective memory?
Well, I don't know if I would call it that. I think it's just the way, it's just the most clear and most, so it's the historically distilled version of a single human life.
It's going to be really hard to have saint stories in 100 years from now when we're like, dude, we have his Twitter feed. Yeah. We saw what he said on April 2nd.
I think there's something to be said about a prerequisite for sanctity being not posting on Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That might become something that's just. I just think that.
Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter, but I don't tweet. I'm just there in case people want to contact me there. But no, yeah, I don't.
It's a great idea to quit it. I would highly recommend it to everybody.
Yeah, no, I don't do it. I mean, hardly even go on there. So
my life's only gotten better.
Yeah,
like in a way, nothing changed when I deleted it.
Right. Because it's all virtual. It's not real.
Yeah, and but not just that, but even just kind of the influence part of it, or the advertising of different things that I'm doing. I had this sense that, well, I kind of need it.
Right. Without that,
I didn't need it at all, ever. And I know that that's true of everything else now.
Right. It's all word of mouth.
But I'd highly recommend people who are watching this delete your Twitter account right now.
Yes, I second that motion. Absolutely. But it's a good question. So what is it? What is it about those common rhythms? It might be just the rhythm of a life. It might be the rhythm of what it means to become holy. It might be the rhythm of a spiritual life, any given spiritual life. Because if you look at the rhythms of both fairy tales and the lives of saints, they're cyclical. They involve the same kind of movements that you see in The Lord of the Rings or in any heroic tale. It involves leaving the comfort of home to go out into a wild place. It involves a lot of try-fail sequences where basically you're testing out your mettle against enemies that you think you can defeat, and they end up defeating you in very embarrassing ways again and again and again. Oh, don't forget the mentor figure is very important. There's always a teacher or a mentor. And then at some point there is the dark night of the soul, the underworld, where you think that you are going to die, or you actually do die. And at the other end of it, there is a eucatastrophe, as Tolkien talks about it, an unexpected sudden turn that is partially determined by your actions, but is still independent of them, meaning that you don't deserve it, but by showing the right kind of attitude and point of view, or rather point of reference to the holy, then the holy can come in because you've become broken by your experiences and humbled by enforced humility. That vessel can then be filled with the grace, which is either actual grace in the lives of the saints or wild power in the fairy tales. But it's effectively the same thing. Now, why are they so different? Because I'm only talking about Russian fairy tales here. But you can partially extend this to other traditions as well, especially if you're talking about a Christian culture. In the movement from paganism to Christianity, you are going to have certain strivings of the human spirit that are the same whether you're pagan or Christian. And that's what makes the pagans come to Christianity. It's the recognition that these are things that I know are true. So for example, in the Russian ministry to America, in Alaska, there are repeated stories of shamans coming to the Russian priests who didn't speak the local languages. And through interpreters, the shamans are telling them, our great spirits told us you were coming. Mm-hmm. And so you still, in Alaska, you still have people with deep Orthodox faith because it's embedded into their identity as indigenous people. Not something you hear very often, not something that's popular to say, by the way. And probably I'll get in trouble for saying that, but it is absolutely true. So there's something in that movement from paganism to Christianity historically that is reflected in the fairy tale and that is then brought into everyday reality, historical reality, if you will, in the lives of the saints.
Hey, thanks for watching that clip. Would you like this beautiful, very high quality, definitely not made in China, not that there's anything wrong with that, Pints with Aquinas beer stein for free, sent to your door? Would you also like a copy of The Jill sent to your door 4 times a year? This is the Pints with Aquinas newspaper, by the way. If you do, go to mattfradd.locals.com and become an annual supporter for any amount. We'll send you that stuff for free, and you get a bunch of other free things in return. You'll get more information by going over to mattfradd.locals.com. Thanks.